I have kids, so I know how to get people. So, thank you guys for coming down here. We're about to get started. Did everybody read the board before we get in? Before we started?
Yeah.
Good. So how many people actually did what we asked you to do? Show of hands. Let me one more time. How many people did what we asked you to do? Show of hands. Right? If you didn't, why not? Right? This is about you. This is for you guys to learn how to invest in real estate. Right? Is that what we're here to do today? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Just want to make sure we're in the right place, or you're in the right place.
We had a couch here last time, right?
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
We had the couch. I was like, this house looks so different.
Yes, it does.
We had to get rid of the couch.
We also got rid of the fan.
Yeah, I was
Remember?
looking. It didn't look familiar because there was no fan up there.
That's right.
Okay.
So thank you guys for being with us here today. I really appreciate it. My name is Jose Fernandez, and my business partner over here is Jason Howard.
Jason.
Welcome to our one of our projects is a fix and flip property in our business. And I just want to share a little bit about myself, and Jason's going to share a little bit about himself, so we can, share with you guys how we got started in real estate investing, show you guys what's possible investing in real estate, because that's why you guys are here today, to learn about how you can do this for yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah? So we're going to share with you our road to being where we are here today, and give you guys an opportunity at the end to pursue that passion of yours with our team. Is that fair? Yeah. Cool. So again, like I said, my name is Jose Fernandez. I'm a first-generation American. My mother and I came to this country when I was 7 years old, and she wanted the American dream for me. Okay, she wanted me to have the American dream. And what she told me was, in order for me to be successful, was to go to school, get a job, go to school, get a degree, get a job, start a family, buy a house, etc. How many people heard that before? Oh, okay, I'm not the only one then. One thing that my mother also always used to tell me was, in order for you to be successful, you have to start your own business.
Yes, that's true.
And the reason why she used to tell me that was because for her, I saw her work multiple jobs. She was a single mother, 60, 80 hours a week, and she didn't spend a lot of time at home. So she used to tell me, if you want to make more money, if you want to be successful, if you want to spend more time with your family, you have to start a business. So what did I do? I didn't start a business in the beginning. I went to school, got a degree. I'm an engineering background, science engineer. We're halfway through my master's and dropped out. Okay, because when I got my bachelor's degree, I came out of school and started had the American dream.
No job.
Right? So I went to school. I did get a job, but it was in 2008. In 2008, we all know what happened. I didn't have a good paying job. Okay, I didn't have a good paying job, and I came out of school with a lot of debt, $50,000, $60,000 in college debt, and half of that was my income. Was that a good deal? When I went to school, they told me $75,000 to $80,000 is what the average engineer is going to make when they come out of college. All right, that was not the case for me. All right, a couple of years into that, I used to remember what I told my mother. When I was growing up, I used to tell my mother, I'm going to buy you a house. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be rich. All right, and I'm going to have a business that's going to make us a lot of money. How many people say silly things like that when you're a kid? All right, we all do. Right? So basically, what I did was, after a couple of years of working with my 9-to-5 job, I was like, I remembered what I used to say to my mom and make those promises, and then I was like, wait a second, Mom was right. I needed to go and start a small business. How many people ever had that moment where you wonder to yourself, damn it, I should listen to Mom? Yeah, we all have. So I decided to go and start my cell phone and computer repair business. So I've always been a business entrepreneur-minded individual. All right, and then I came across this phenomenal opportunity to learn how to invest in real estate and do it with the right people. Okay, and it all started with an invitation, just like somebody here invited you today. Okay, I saw an opportunity and went after my dreams. Because this opportunity gave me, allowed me to fire my boss. I don't have to have a full-time job anymore. I have enough money so I don't have to go to work, okay? And I get to spend time with my beautiful wife and kids. I don't have to defer birthdays. So if a birthday is on a Tuesday, guess what I'm doing on a Tuesday? I don't have to put it off to the end of the week. Okay, and that's a difference between knowing what you want and money, right? Money, we can always make more money, but we're not always going to have the lifestyle that we want. So this is about lifestyle design, and that's what this opportunity has been able to do for me. It showed me how to make money, right? In the last couple of years, my business partner and I, we've invested in several real estate deals like this one. Okay, had an opportunity to fire my boss, get to spend more time with my kids. I actually bought the house that my mother was looking to buy, right? And now we're helping her with her retirement. So I invite you guys to take good notes, because just like I got started, you have an opportunity to get started yourself. So, Jason, would you like to share a little bit about yourself and how you got started?
Yep, sure.
And what you're doing here?
What the hell I am doing here? So, welcome guys, thanks for coming by. I hope that you guys learn a lot out of this, or at least something to take home. So a little bit about myself. I've been an entrepreneur pretty much since I was born. When I was age 5, I used to play Monopoly by myself. So I didn't have other kids in my neighborhood that would used to play or that knew how to play for it, so I would go for it myself. After that, I lost my parents, my dad when I was 14, so after that I kind of just went on to life and started working, and just getting a job, doing stuff, creating small businesses here, there, and it was trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. So I was born and raised in Argentina. I came here when I was in the year 2000, and I found that this was a great opportunity. And my first 5 months working here, I was making like 5 times what I was making in Argentina, and I was making about $4,000 a month. So it's not that I was making a big amount of money, but that was 4 or 5 times what I was making in Argentina. So here it just blew my mind. And in a couple years being here, I bought my first project, my first condo. In 2002, I bought my first condo cash. It needed some kind of work, not as much as this, but it needed some kind of work. I bought another one. I created a business. I went through about 4 or 5 years. Everything was smooth. Everything was rocking and rolling. But in that time, there was certain aspects of business that I didn't know that I had to take care of. Well, taxes, how to manage money. I was good at flipping. I could do most of this stuff myself. I fixed my apartment. I did this. I did that. I could manage all of that. But the fact of not having the knowledge with taxes, with how to manage money, put me into bankruptcy in 2009 or 2010. In a matter of 3 years, I went through IRS audit, tax lien because of the business, and the fact of not knowing these things or how the tax law operates in the U.S. caused me to take that path. So after that happened, it was, okay, now I have to do things differently. I have to learn the system before I go and do this. I know how to do this, I just have to learn the system and learn how to play the system. And that's when I got introduced to the education company that we're part of. With Jose, we're part of an education company. And that put me into the knowledge that I needed to create and build a business. On top of that, it also put me in contact with a community of people that we work together as a group in real estate. Through this company, I met my business partner. I've met a lot of people, which many of you guys are here today, so I want to thank you again for being here. You're very important in my life. You're always there to support us, to brainstorm ideas, and to make things happen. So I really, really, really appreciate it. So with that being said, that's about all of my story. We've been working for the last couple of years with Jose. I'm very proud of what we have accomplished, what the things that he's accomplished, things that we've been able to do as a group, and the people that we are also helping to go on to this path. So I'll give it back to you, and thank you guys for being here.
Awesome. Everybody give it a big hand. Woo! It's hot in here, right?
No, the lights off.
Maybe you should stand on the other side. All right, so Jerry, I'm sorry, man. I might be bumping into you.
No, I'm a little bit.
I
can squeeze down.
You guys squeeze down?
I'm a little bit.
So today, guys, the topics we're gonna cover today are gonna be, starting your business. Find it, fix it, flip it, and profits. All right. So this is the fundamental concepts of how we run our business and any real estate transaction that we go through. Correct? Right. This is it right here. So I'm gonna cover myself. Starting it, finding it, and I'll let our negotiations and all that kind of stuff. Then we'll hand it off to Jason. Jason handles a lot of our construction and negotiations and funding strategies. And then we'll conclude with finishing up the transaction. Okay? So, the way we found, how many people here are looking for deals right now? Okay, and I'm going to show you guys right now how to go out there and find a property, not today because you're here, but next week. All right, next week. The way we run our business, if you are running a real estate investing business, we found that in today's market right now, profits on, and if you're looking at an MLS property, you're not really going to make too many profits. All right, so if you're looking right now on a property that's on the MLS, please stop or please take a realtor or REO agent to coffee and become really good friends with them so they can allow you to get the property before they hit the market. Because look how many people are around here right now that are all looking for deals. If you're looking for deals on the open market, that's what's going to happen. You're going to compete with all these people that are just in this room. What about if you magnify that and you're competing with people against your whole county? He felt that one, right? That's why property values are being driven up and up and up and up. And if you have a property like this, it's going to be tough to compete against that and make money. All right, unless you have a lot of money. And if you do, come talk to me at the end. All right. So
let's make more money.
Let's make more money. Right. So the way we run our business is we go out and look for deals. We go look for deals, and our sources for deals are probates, pre-foreclosures, tax liens, vacants properties. Okay, this is what we do on a daily basis to go out and look for deals. Okay, and this business is a relationship business. You need to become, you need to know what you're going to say to people, homeowners specifically, on the fly. So when you're talking to a homeowner, you need to have your scripts, you need to have your offer, you need to have as much information as possible regarding their house, and possibly, if you can, more than they do when you're sitting down with them. Okay? That is how you're going to be able to negotiate and look and be the professional that they want to work with. All right? So this is our sources for finding deals. The way we found them is anybody can go to the public records, get all that information, and start marketing to those people, right? Creating marketing campaigns, door knocking, and just all out grind and hustle, really. That's what it takes. Go out there and get yourself in front of people that are going to be facing these situations, and your systems are going to determine a big part of your success on that. All right, your systems are going to determine a big part of your success on that. So we've built the systems behind it. We have people in our team that are helping us behind the back of the scenes to put these deals together, and we're doing this here in Essex County Hudson County, Union County, and wherever you guys are going to be working on finding deals, right? So, there are so many deals, there's so many opportunities within these categories, guys, that there's just so much, that there's just enough for everybody. And it just a matter of tapping into taking the right actions to make that happen. So this particular transaction came out of a probate deal. Okay, this is somebody that had inherited a house and was vacant, and we reached out to them. That was it. You can you can play it out however you want in your mind, but it's so simple. Sometimes we just overcomplicate the process, and we start saying like, well, and that's, I tell you because that's what I did for 2 years, right? I did for well, I don't have any money. That's $5, Carlos. I don't have any money to go out there and buy deals. How many people feel like that? Right? That was my excuse. I didn't have any money to go out there and do deals. So what if I go to speak to a homeowner and they're gonna say, oh well, I want $65,000 and I don't have $65,000. That was my mindset, right? So, but guess what? If you have a good deal, I'm gonna eliminate that right now. If you have a good deal, you bring it to the right people.
Bring it to me, I'll buy it.
Bring it to the team or somebody that invited you here, and we'll structure it to help you guys structure it from start to finish, and advise you if it's a good deal or not, because sometimes we make offers and it's not really a good deal. Okay, so probate systems. All right, contacted the homeowner. She was on my list for about 7 months. 7 months before I got her on the phone. Okay? Follow up is very important in this business. When you have a contact, a list of people, they're not going to sell when you want them to sell. They're going to sell when they're ready. So your systems have to be consistent. Okay? You never know which one is the part of the homeowner that's going to sell their house. So your systems have to make up your slack. Okay, your systems and your routines and your habits have to make up your slack on that. So she was on our list for 7 months. I have a scheduled time to call people that are on my list for a while, and some houses that I know that I want to follow up with. And guess what? She picked up, and now we're here today. Okay. Any questions on that so far?
How did you come across this property, her name, and
Probate.
what does that mean? Probate.
It's inherited property.
It's
Inherited property.
It's a website, or you can get on.
We go to the county records. So
it's free.
We went over this already, right? We go to the county records, you go to the courthouses, and then you get you'll be able to get their contact information. Every one of these deals, guys, every one of these deals is a public record.
Yeah.
So you can go out there and get information about every homeowner in your county, in your state, in the country, knowing where to look. And we're going to show you guys on another presentation how you can get that information directly from Renata's iOS software. It pulls all the information from people across the country that are facing similar transactions. Okay, so we're going to go into a lot of. We're going to give you guys a lot of time. We're going to have to cover a lot of information right now. We're going to give you guys 15-20 minutes at the end. Once we get through it, just write down your questions, and we'll address them at the end, so that way we can get through the material and serve you guys better. Fair?
Yeah.
Cool. So, the probate that's how we got the transaction. Guys, so number one, how to find the lead, right? Find the lead by going to public records, getting in front of them, however you have to do it. Phone, mail, knocking on their door. That's scary, right?
No.
Get in front of it. There you go. You're gonna hang out with me more, right?
I'm like that.
Whatever you have to do to get the business, because guess what? Your competition is going to do it if you don't. The next step is, once you get the appointment, now you have to sit down with them and earn the business. Okay, earn the business. Just because they got the appointment doesn't mean they're going to give you the business, because you're still facing competition, even though it's not on the MLS, because other people are still doing the same thing. Okay, people know how to find deals. So the way we go ahead and, first is your presentation. Your presentation to the homeowner and your credibility. Okay, that's what's gonna get you the deal. And how do you earn, how do you get credibility? Is research information. The more information that you have, the more information that you can sit down with the homeowner and show them about what's going on in the market, what's going on around here, right? And how much you know about their situation. I mean, that can either go either way, right? But most of the time, they're pretty thankful for me giving them information that they didn't even know sometimes. Like, hey, did you know that your house is going to auction next week? Mm-hmm. They're gonna know. If they said they don't, are you sure you didn't know? So then, thank God I found you, because your house is gonna be sold, right? You need to work with me now, right now. So it's just the way how you talk to people, right? Again, I started with this, just the conversation that you're having with homeowners. So some of the things that I come to every appointment with is information about their houses and tax records. So I want to know if they have a mortgage on the house. Okay, is that important?
Yes.
Absolutely, because I know if I'm meeting with a homeowner with no mortgage, then we can potentially buy the house next week or the same day, whatever it is, right? We can move quickly, and that's what that's what we want in a real estate investing business, right? So you want to know mortgage, you want to know tax liens, if there are any judgments against the house, municipal liens, due diligence on that, okay? As much detail as you can get behind the house.
Plus they lie.
Question.
Real quick, Jerry.
Is it easier for you to go through and get like what you call a title company to do that?
You can get a title company to do it. They all have that information, and they'll be able to get it for you in a day, 24 hours. But they're going to charge you. They're going to charge you 100, 200, 300, whatever it is. Unless you have a relationship with them, they may not charge you. They don't charge us because we have a relationship with them, but we don't use them anyways because we evaluate hundreds of properties every month. Okay, if you're running a title business, would you want to evaluate hundreds of properties for me?
No.
For free? No. So we don't waste people's time unless we have a contract in place already, or we're going to be offering a contract for that. But that's why it's important for everyone here to be able to know that process, to be able to go ahead and present that to the business, to the homeowner. You need to know what is the house going to be worth after you buy it. Anybody here figure that out? What this house was worth? Well, you know the area, man. That's not fair, man.
Yeah.
No, but you went through the exercise. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I think like around like 200,000.
200,000?
Yeah.
Anybody else got another guess? Or
Like 300,000.
300?
Yeah.
250.
else?
250.
250, 200. Can I get 400?
I got 2,500.
What, 230?
215.
230? So, real quick, my initial estimate was 220,000. We had an appraisal, 238, Jason?
238.
Price is right.
Price is right. 238,000. So I made my offer based on 220,000. All right, because that's the information that I had at hand. When between the time that I had the information and the time that the appraiser did it, it might have been 30, 45, 60 days. Can new comps come up in that time and change the values? Absolutely, it happens all the time. All the time, okay? In this fast-paced market, it's going to happen. So, I made my offer on 220,000. So I already knew the ARV. What's the next thing you guys need to know?
How much to offer?
How much to offer,
And
right?
repairs.
What do you need to find out about that? Repairs.
Property, yeah.
When I come in the house, I take notes. Or I use our software. We have a software that we use on the fly to take that notes and give us national average for repair estimates. Okay, so right then and there, I give the homeowner a rough estimate of what it's going to cost to be their house. And are homeowners savvy? Do they know, what things cost in their house sometimes? It depends. So sometimes you can just ask them, hey, Mr. Homeowner, what is it cost? What is it going to cost to fix his house? How much do you think? Oh, I don't know, $100,000. I have 70, but I'm going to go with one number.
His number. Well, if their number's higher, go with theirs.
You have to go with theirs, right? It's all negotiations, right? It's negotiations. So if you always ask this specific question that I ask the homeowner to see if they can give me something to work with, right? You want to find motivation, you want to find what they think about their house. So the repairs, that's what the exercise that we had you guys going through today. All right, can you guys give me an estimate real quick on what do you think what do you think was going to be costing here?
45,000.
45,000. Anybody else?
60.
60. Anybody else? One more.
You talking about what it's gonna cost you or what you told them?
What are we gonna? No. What is it gonna? What is it costing us to do this house?
Oh, what's
right now?
cost?
You said 45.
Oh, I thought that's what you told the client.
no.
Oh, what you think? Y'all probably gonna be in it like 20,000, 25.
25,000
Yeah.
For the whole house?
to repair the whole house.
I said 55, but I didn't even get
55.
They not gutting everything out though. They
Okay, so
kind of sheet
this pretty much
It's
covers
not
up.
fair because they didn't get to see what it was before.
This pretty
It's
much.
not fair. They didn't get to see the
This is fair because look at everything that we've done. We already cheated for them.
Electric.
This is giving them the hint, right? So we have
See what's going on.
Right.
we have a wide range.
Windows.
I said 75.
75, right? We have a wide range here.
I didn't see upstairs.
Can I get the contractor for 25? Whoever brought that
Right,
one.
right.
Guys,
So it also depends on how much upgrade or you want to put in the house.
The finish.
this is it right here. I'm a homeowner. I'm not gonna tell you what you should put in, right? You come into a house, you look at it like this. You need to determine how much you're gonna spend. That's your job. You're the investor. You need to know that. Okay, I can't tell you that. That's why I asked you guys from the beginning. Act as if you were gonna buy this house and what are you gonna do with it, right? So these are the numbers that we're getting. Once I know how much repairs I'm gonna need, okay, I determine that inside the house. I can't determine that until I meet with them, right? Before that, another piece of information that I get every single time is what other houses are selling for in the area, off market and on the market. Okay, off market and on the market, because there's a lot of houses selling off market. You have to be able to find that information. Public records. You know, on the market, realtors, right? I'm a realtor, so I get that data. So every house that I go to, I already know what is the average. So if there's a house that, and my goal is to get the house under any other house in this zip code that's on the MLS. That's my goal. And some of you guys are like, what?
Can you repeat that?
My goal is to get it under the lowest comp in this zip code.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Okay? And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I know I have a good deal, right? Because I'm paying less than everybody else in this county or this zip code for a house. Okay? And then number two is, if worst case scenario, I wanted to sell this house, where am I going to go to put it on the market?
MLS.
On the MLS, they're gonna pay more. So either way, that's my goal, right off the bat. If I can't, if there's things like that, we'll evaluate that later. But, ARV, repairs, what my offer is, and what do you guys think I do when I come to the house? I show them all of that, boom. I show all the information. I'm completely transparent with my client. I'm like, listen, if you're gonna put it in the market, this is what you might get. If you're gonna work with our team, this is what you might get. Why do you think they choose to work with us? Honestly, there's a bunch of different things. Credibility.
Come prepared.
Credibility, transparency. Okay? And you know what? I've already determined their motivation. And we give them 4 different options. 4 different options. Cash, lease option, seller finance, and listed with me. Those are the options. Okay? After that, once we have all those numbers, make the offers. Right? We make the offers. That's how I make the offers. The ones that I just gave you. Right? The information that I just gave you was how we make our offers. The more information that you're able to provide to them, the better it is. Knowing the process from start to finish when it comes to time to coordinating the transaction, okay, it's crucial, because we had this on the contract for 4-6 months before we actually bought it. Right? 4 to 6 months before we actually bought it. Why? Because I know the process in and out. The reason why we took so long to close, because we didn't have the funding together at the time. So if you guys are worried about funding, don't let that slow your business down, because the most important thing is you'll find the funding throughout the deal. Right? But as long as you build a relationship with your sellers, as long as you're building a relationship with the people you're working with, they're going to work with you. And we do it time and time again. Okay, we do it time and time again. So right now, the next part after we put in the offer, they accept, we go through the house. What do you got, during the offer, every one of my offers is, even though it's a cash deal as is, every one of my offers, or our offers, is contingent to home inspection and final walkthrough. A lot of the times the attorneys waive that, but we are unreasonable in the things that we ask, because some of those things are, we know what's going to get off the contract, but we know what's going to stick. Okay, so we are unreasonable on the things that we ask when we're buying the house. So once we are in the contract with the house, or before the contract, I work directly with Jason. Jason and I work through this whole process together. Okay, we constantly in communication. But then I get the house. I get another appointment. They said, listen, I make you an offer. What happened with this particular house? I was like, listen, there was a house on the street that sold for $70,000. I can't pay you $70,000 until my contractor comes into the house and gives me the actual number. So what I can do right now, I can give you a $70,000 offer, and then when we adjust it, depending on what my contractor has to tell me, we'll adjust the value. If this is acceptable to you, yes.
Just want to get them signed and acceptance.
They said yes, and then we can adjust our value in a turn review based on my contract and inspection. She said yes. I was like, okay, let's sign the contract right now, because I'm not leaving until we sign the contract right now. All right. So I'm gonna hand it off to Jason, and he's gonna go and show you guys what that process is for evaluating the repairs, how he works on that, and what was it? What else?
Hard money.
Funding.
Yes.
Funding, right? Repairs and funding. All right. So everybody, please welcome back Jason Howard.
Woo! And give it up for Jose. So did you guys learn anything so far?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so now's the hard part, huh? Now you got a yes, and now what? Now what?
Put the deal together.
Exactly, right? Now comes the brainstorming. So, Jose was mentioning that we come and we walk through the house a second time, and we kind of fine-tune everything that has to be done in the house. And in this situation, we had a budget of about $62,000. We also use the Renatus iOS software. That gives us it's a quick way of evaluating the property. Obviously, it takes some time to put the information into the system, but once you have it in there, you have the database, and it's like having a contractor literally come out there. Off those rehab estimates that I've put together in the last year, we've been off a few $1,000s from the final walkthrough, except for this one. Except for this one. Let's go through the funding process, because that's where most of you guys aren't taking yeses from homeowners, right? Yeah. Oh. All right. So the way hard money works is there is hard money lenders now that are going with 100% financing. I personally have not used them, just because they have some requirements that I'm not willing to work with them. As in, they want everybody that's in an LLC to run their credit report. They want to have all the information, which I'm fine with. But in our case, in our structure for the business, I prefer to not have that. That's just my decision. That's all. It's not because of this or because of that. It's just the way we run our business.
I agree.
But our lender needs a 10% down payment plus closing. So closing, our lender goes with 5 points. So does anybody know what a point is? How you calculate a point?
5% off.
1%, exactly. Okay. So we're gonna just put this into percentage. So now we're talking about title, attorney, any inspections that we did, LLC formation, and any other things that we have to invest money in to move the deal. So in this case, we had an inspection. Even though we knew, you guys all saw the oil tank in the basement. We knew that there was an oil tank in the basement. We still pay to have the company come out and search the exterior of the property in case there's any abandoned oil tanks, and it's just our security. It's an insurance that we pay. We'd rather pay $250 to have them come and inspect it, and we know that it's there or it's not there. But we have an insurance on that.
Just quickly, if they miss it,
So the company that we work with, the company that we work with, they guarantee that if they miss it, they'll remove it without cost. So that's the company that we've worked with for the past year or so, and it just gives me the peace of mind that I don't have to, like, if they missed it, if they really missed it, which I don't think they'll miss it, but if they did miss it, I'm covered.
Okay.
I'm covered. Yeah.
Now the LLC formation, is that every deal you get a new LLC?
We usually do that.
Okay.
We usually do that, but it depends also.
Correct.
It depends.
So do you do an LLC for each property, or you put them all in one?
That's
what I just
again.
said.
It depends. It depends on the property.
And why not a trust? Why an LLC?
Because I work with an accountant that tells me how to set that up.
Okay.
So there's a lot of decisions that we make in our business that are based off of a conversation that we have either with our attorney, with a CPA, or with somebody that's a professional in their business.
Okay.
So I talk with the oil tank company and they tell me that there's nothing here. I don't know why, I don't know how, but they told me that, and I have a paperwork that backs me up on that. That's the way we run our business.
Is your hard money lender requires an LLC to lend you money, give you the money?
most of them do.
Most of them do. There is a few of them that don't. But I still would recommend having it.
Yeah, for your own safety.
Yeah, exactly.
Each property is
You gotta have insurance too, though. They recommend require that you have insurance too, right?
Yes, and a full year of insurance paid. At least the one that we work with. There's a few other ones that they may go like for 4 months or 6 months, but you have to pay the insurance up for. So basically, this lender, they'll give you a 12-month loan. So at the end of 12 months, you have a balloon payment for whatever the loan was. In the interim, you're paying a monthly interest. So in this case, our lender gave us a 12% interest rate. So this is the down. A 12% interest rate. This is interest. So what do I do with the information that we brainstormed with Jose? We negotiated the price. We have a budget for rehabbing the property. Now I have to take that to the lender and show them what I got. Okay? So Jose mentioned before that we had an appraisal for, let me put this one. So the appraisal came in for $238. Did you mention what the offer was?
So we are offer 70.
Okay.
That was the contract offer.
The initial contract. And I just mentioned that we came in here and we said that we're going to rehab this with 62. Okay? So the rehab is 62. Alright, so we have 132. Okay? So we have about, give or take, $100,000 spread. That's not what we'll make at the end of the deal. It's just a spread. And this is a safe number to make your deals happen. If you see that you have $100,000 spread, at least on these numbers, if you go on a $500,000 house, I would like to see this spread higher. Okay? Just to be safe.
45%.
Thank you.
How much was that?
25%. So with these numbers here, we went to the lender and we told them that we want to get a loan. So what they evaluate is this number here, they'll lend up to 70%. Okay? So if somebody has a calculator and want to do the math, but this roughly is about 150, I think. Anybody do the math? 166, okay. All right. So we were under what the lender is willing to lend. If this number here goes over this, they'll still lend you, but you'll have to come up with the difference and this down payment. When you come to closing, if this number would be 170, you would have to come an additional $4,000 to compensate what they are willing to lend. You still can make the deal happen, you just have to put more skin in the game. Exactly. So right here we had a really safe bet, a really safe investment because we were like way under the 70%. And this, once we were ready to pull the trigger, our lender closed in 5 days.
Now your
Yep.
rehab money goes into escrow?
Yes.
Gets drawn.
Yep. So all this money here goes into escrow, and you can do unlimited withdrawals, but each withdrawal, they charge, I think it's like $150, if I'm not mistaken. But it's like, there's a cost to send out the inspector, because they come and inspect the property to make a withdrawal. Okay? So this here, now you have a cost of carrying all this money. You have a cost for taxes, for insurance, for the gas, electricity, everything that you have working in the site, which are those are called carrying costs. So, based off of this number here, we're going to be paying a 1% a month off of the loan. Does that make sense? So 12% a year divided 12 is 1% a month. So it's easy math. If you have a loan for $132,000, which is not because they'll lend 90% of this. Remember that you have to come back with 10%. So this here is about 120, give or take 120. So a monthly payment for this is going to be $1,200. All right. The insurance for this, it costs about $16 or $1,700 a year. So that roughly turns in to be about $150 a month. And I apologize about the handwriting.
But you won't pay the whole unit. Turn the property over.
Well, you already paid in your
Well,
closing
but you
costs.
you paid for it in the closing cost.
They want to be set for the next year.
Yeah, so you're this, but I still count it in the carrying cost because it's part of the carrying cost.
You're already paying for it.
Okay, it's not, you paid for it up front, but it's part of your carrying cost. And the reason I'm doing this number here is because I'm trying to determine kind of what our profit is going to be. Okay, so this here we have the insurance and taxes. What were taxes? About I think they're like $5,000 or $5,500. Let's round it up to 6 just to make easy numbers. We'll charge $500 a month. $6,000 a year would be $500 a month. So right here, let's add another $150 between water, gas, electric on a monthly basis, just to make round numbers. So we have $1,500. Right here we have about $2,000 a month. So every month, this project is costing $2,000. Okay? All right, so in a year, if this project would go out for a year, you're going to have about $24,000. If you make it happen in 6 months, $12,000. So what do you think? How long do you think I want it to take?
As little as possible.
3 months. I want to get it done today, right? And this is one of the problems that a lot of people have on not doing the numbers. Like, okay, yeah, I can get it done in 3 months. This project, we're ongoing on 6 months. And I'm gonna go into that a little bit now. But right now, we still have another month to finish, and then, assuming that we have a buyer in place, we have another 2 months for a closing. Just basic numbers. So we're still out of this 3 months more.
Great.
So this here turned into my 6 months, turned into 9 months.
And it happens sometimes, yeah.
It happens every day. And it like there is things that you cannot control, so you have to budget for that and make sure that you have enough cushion to be able to fall back on that.
Now, are you required to do architectural plans on this type of rehab here?
Not on this because it's a one family.
Okay.
Being a one family, you can get away with that. If it's at least here in Newark, each city changes.
Right.
But
You required to have a superintendent?
no.
No? Okay.
All right. Any questions about this?
Can you?
Sorry.
What was your question?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm from Staten Island. We're now required to file any plans if you're touching any load-bearing wall, no matter what the job is. If you're touching a load-bearing wall, and you have to have a superintendent on the job. So you have to hire a superintendent now.
Stay in Jersey.
Huh?
Stay in Jersey.
Yeah, so that's why I'm looking to come into Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the appraisal 238 is the appraisal for a new house.
Yes, so when we have the appraisal come in, what they do is evaluate the properties that have been sold in the area as
As a new
rehab.
house. Okay,
As
got it.
properties that have been rehabbed and sold in the area.
Thank you.
Okay? Yep, sure, no problem. Alright, so right here we're talking about the $2,000 a month. We also budget in, when we're doing the numbers initially, the selling cost. So when we get to the closing, when we're ready to sell the property, now we have to have an agent, we're gonna have closing costs. There's gonna be sometimes concessions, you know, hey, I don't like that fridge, I want another one, so you have to go and spend another $1,500, $2,000 for a new fridge. There's these different things that you also have to budget for because you aren't gonna let go of a closing just because you can't come up with $1,000 to give them, sweep under the rug, exactly. So basically when we did all these numbers, we were estimating about $60,000 to $70,000 in profit. Just round numbers. So if somebody wants or needs to have like the exact breakdown, I can provide that. But this is basically what we had until now. Once we started the project, we found that the town of Newark is a little bit not non-cooperating with the permits. So we applied for the permits and we waited and we waited and we waited, and it took them a full month to just allow us to start working. We had already started working, but it's a risk that we were taking. Obviously, it came all to this 2 months, or how long do you want the project to go on for? This project was a very unique project because we've had a lot of things that went wrong, and I'm glad to say that we're still going to make $50,000 on it, but with everything that happened in the project, it was really nerve-wracking. So I think we were into the project about a month. We had secured the property, but we had a break-in. Yes. Okay, so throughout the break-in, we were starting the electrical, so we got all the electrical cables gone. Yep, they were gone. So that's about $3,000, $2,000 or $3,000 that was just vanished. Yep. So there is where you see the metal windows, metal doors. So we had to take that decision. And there is where you have to have that cushion. For example, this here it's a cost of I think it's like $150 a month. So now it's added to that budget that we had. So now that 62 that we had originally, now we have another $150 a month. Now we lost $4,000 or $3,000 in the cable that we had bought, and the arrangement that we have with the contractors is we buy the material, so we lost the material. So now we're talking about $3,000 more. It wasn't only that, because they stole the copper in the basement, so now we weren't thinking of doing the entire copper throughout the basement. Now we have to go and talk with the plumber. Mr. Plumber, we need to get the whole piping done in the basement. And we were missing a water meter. And we were missing pipes. And we were missing a lot of stuff. So at the end of the day, we had to come out of pocket with an extra about $5,000–6,000 to kind of bring the project back up to par. Here's the thing, that wasn't the only thing that happened. Yes, oh my God, exactly. So during that same week, so we filed a police report, we did, like, you know, the whole 9 yards that had to be done legally. We just gotta keep on going. That same week, towards the end of the week, we had oil tank, the oil tank company, that's what it was, that came and did a delivery of oil. Because we were on auto delivery from the prior owner, which died a year ago. So, but this is what I'm telling you guys, these are things that you cannot control. There's no way that I would have guessed that I would have gotten free oil.
You lucked out though. I know one guy who took the tank out and closed the hole, and he wound up with 250 gallons of oil in the basement.
Well, we ended up with oil in the basement.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
So apparently, when the break-in occurred, they were trying to do something with the oil tank, and they loosened the feed of the oil tank. So we were very, very lucky that there was people working here the day that this happened, because the truck just came, parked in front, and started putting oil into the tank, which was kind of not there. We were lucky that they didn't finish taking that out, but we had 20 gallons of oil in the basement. So, and we also got really lucky with that, based off of negotiations, because the oil company told us, like, well, I mean, we're just doing our job. And we got lucky because they didn't leave before, because if not, it's like, who did this? You know. So before they left, one of the guys that was working here, one of the contractors, he's like, you gotta get over here, like, right now. Like, not 2 minutes from now, like, right now. So I was lucky that I was about 10 minutes from here in another property. Came over here and like, oh, wow, nice basement. There was oil all over the basement. So we started negotiating with the oil company, and they ended up calling their insurance company, and we got everything covered on that end. So we didn't have to. But this is the thing, guys. If that would have happened, and we have to budget, or we have to pay for that, the company that came and remediated that, I was talking with the owner of the company, that was an $18,000 budget.
Killer deal.
Talk about killer deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about killer deal.
Yeah.
So if you're doing your budget on $20,000 and the rehab, hey, I'm good with $20,000. Think again. Think twice.
More than that, you're glad that you didn't start any fire.
I mean, if you think about it, there is like so many repercussions that can go wrong. But that's what I'm saying. In all the bad, good comes out.
Right.
You know, and it was a great learning experience, because it teaches you the fact of being proactive and making things happen before something like that happens. Taking action before things happen. So right now we're looking at about the project now with all these twisted events. We're talking about $75,000 to $80,000, which is our budget that we're looking at now. So it's a little bit higher than what we had. So we ended up deciding to change the oil heating system for a central AC. So that cost a little bit more than what we had in the original budget. The extra copper, the electric cables that were stolen, that put up our budget. It's going to be between $13,000 and about $18,000 more. Okay, so that 70 or 60 or 70 that we originally thought about, now we're down to about 40 or 50. I'm still happy with it. At the end of the day, it's still good money. So, any questions?
Positive with the HVAC. the appraisal might go up a little bit.
Um,
There you go.
yes.
This is the before tax. It's all
Pre-tax.
40, 50, right?
Yeah.
Yes, before taxes. Yes.
Since you learned the things that came up on starting this project, what would you do differently this time?
So for future projects, depending on the area, I'll probably come and gate, yeah, right from the get-go. And if there is an oil tank, we cut the neck and just like seal it. If so, here's the thing: we were thinking of leaving the oil, so that's why that had not been done. But for future references, I'm not going with oil because I found that HVAC is like he was saying, the appraised value is going to significantly increase, and it's also much easier to sell at the end of the day. And yes, it does cost a little bit more, but the difference makes up at the end of the day.
Probably you recoup at the end.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Would you say the difference is double? So say if you spend $9,000 doing the work, would you say $18,000 would go up in value, or like would it be easier to sell?
It's easier to sell, but you still can get, I wouldn't say double, I would say maybe a 50% more on like what you invested. But then again, if you're gonna do something with the existing heating system, like you'll probably have to do some kind of maintenance on the boiler. You know, the heaters throughout the house are gonna need, you know, some kind of something. I mean, this was like an old house, so they were gonna need something though. Yeah. So if you spend, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 on something like that, and then you go to an HVAC, which you're gonna be spending 10 at the end of the day, now you have a brand new system, and that's gonna add maybe, you know, I don't know, $10,000, $15,000 more. So on the difference, you may get the 100% return.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
How old is this building?
This house is 1910, 1920.
Oh, wow.
So, all right, guys. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'm gonna give it back to Jose. Thank you so much.
1932.
So Jason, give Jason a big hand. And wasn't that crazy?
Yeah.
All the stuff that happened. And here, the crazy part of all that is that we're still making money.
That's it. That's key.
But would it be possible without having, you know, you see how ridiculous amount of information you need to have before you get into a deal? If your business structures don't look like that before you get into a deal, it's way too risky. In my personal opinion, in our personal opinion, you guys can do what you want with your money, right? But this is the process that we go through every single time with our business. Obviously, you guys are here. This house did not look like this in the beginning of the year. In January 2nd, I made a video of this house when he finally got the permits approved, and it was not like this. In a couple of weeks, it's going to be completely different than what it is now. And we may or may not invite you guys, just you know, depending on how you guys treat us today, right? But all jokes aside, we're going to have this event in the future to show you guys the finished product. Okay, the finished product at the end. But a lot of things can go wrong in the process. Okay, due diligence, know-how, and experience can mitigate a lot of the risk, and that's what a lot of us in the beginning are missing. True? Okay, because you can't have experience unless you have experience. You can't get experience from going into action.
There's a question online. How much is enough to get started in investing?
I started investing in real estate without any money. Jason started investing in real estate without any money. I hope that answers your question. But there are a lot of different opportunities for people. Real estate investing is a big topic. And there's so many strategies and specific ways to get started in real estate. Some of them without using any money or credit. If you have money or credit, fantastic, right? You're gonna be successful that much faster than somebody. You're gonna get ahead that much faster than somebody that does not have that many resources. So when it comes to investing in real estate, it's just a big, broad topic. right? That it's not a one size fits all for everyone. So if somebody's out there trying to tell you that all you have to do is this, this, and this, and this, run away.
Right.
Run away, because real estate investing is not that type of business.